In Afghanistan. Disgruntled and ruthless mercenaries Trey, Rob, Luke, and Hyde torture a war profiteer who owes them money. Before they kill him, he discloses it has been wired to a bank in the city of Chesterford, Massachusetts. Interpol agent Rossi is reassigned from an operation in Kabul to investigate the mercenaries. In Chesterford, quiet high school student Kenny Ralston is suspended for fighting off a bully. The school's vice principal informs Kenny's mother, emergency department nurse Shawnee Ralston, that Kenny must go on a police ride-along or face expulsion. Kenny is assigned to Chesterford Police Department officer Mike Chandler and his son-in-law officer Steve McAvoy. Mike, a widower whose relationship with his daughter Lisa is deteriorating, learns from Steve that Lisa is pregnant. Kenny and the officers do not get along, and Kenny records an incident where the officers hold a suspect at gunpoint, frustrating Mike, who feels people who record police are obstructing their duties. Elsewhere, the mercenaries prepare to rob the Chesterford Bank for the wired money, worth $1.3 million. Hyde plants an IED in a diner elsewhere in Chesterford to provide a diversion, and the mercenaries rob the bank, taking numerous hostages. While on a coffee break nearby, Mike notices an illegally parked SUV outside the bank. Trey and Hyde detonate the IED, destroying the diner. The Chesterford PD dispatches all available units to the explosion, issuing Captain Horst situational command, and Shawnee's hospital prepares to receive casualties, while Rossi is ordered to assist the Chesterford PD. However, Mike, having warmed up to Kenny, chooses to stay in their beat and keep him around, to Steve's chagrin. Agitated at Mike and Steve's refusal to leave, Hyde opens fire on their cruiser, forcing it to crash. Steve calls for backup and rescues Kenny, and the officers return fire and kill Hyde. While Kenny attempts to record the shootout, Mike learns Steve is injured and prepares a makeshift tourniquet. Meanwhile, Rossi arrives in Chesterford. As police begin to divert their attention to the robbery, backup arrives, including officers Hansen and Jacobs, and attempts to medevac Steve. But the robbers shoot numerous hostages, bystanders, and officers, including Jacobs. Steve, fearing he will die, asks Kenny to record a farewell message for Lisa. Backup eventually manages to extract Steve, but Kenny is separated from Mike in the bank's parking lot. At the hospital, Shawnee and EMTs treat the casualties from the diner and the bank, including Steve and Jacobs. Lisa arrives at the hospital and learns from Jacobs that Mike is still at the scene looking for Kenny. Shawnee overhears their conversation and begins to worry just as Kenny calls to tell her he is safe. By now, a massive police presence has formed at the bank, including the Massachusetts State Police, Chesterford PD SWAT, Horst, and Rossi, as Mike and Hansen head to the parking lot to search for Kenny. Trey releases the hostages. However, Horst finds an IED in a hostage's pocket and sacrifices himself to protect others from the blast. With the hostages secured, SWAT assaults the bank but are repelled by the robbers. Rob and Luke charge out to battle the police but are killed, while Trey escapes into the parking lot and fires on Kenny and the officers, killing Hansen and injuring Mike. As Trey prepares to execute Mike, Kenny pulls Hansen's sidearm just as Rossi arrives, and both shoot and kill Trey. Mike and Kenny are extracted from the scene and are met by Lisa and Shawnee. 1 year later, Mike arrives home to a birthday party held for him by his friends and family, including Steve, Lisa, Kenny, and Mike's new granddaughter. As he joins the celebrations, He asks Kenny to take pictures for him.